Y'all missed it. Her mic wasn't on. She was like, they're bored of you. Probably.
What up, what up, what up?
Yeah! Yeah! So y'all know where I get stuff from?
Hi.
How's everybody doing? Good. Like Eric said, I have shared my story multiple times, and usually when I speak, I always share a little bit of my story. Just I feel like it's important that you guys know where I've come from, where I'm going, what I've been doing, the growth that I've had, and so on and so forth. But I wanted a different perspective, and you guys heard my best friend online, Nick Hankins, when me and him shared, and he took me in. But I wanted to bring my mom here, so everybody get up for my mom. She, her and my dad's right over here. They dealt through a lot. I'm sure if you're a parent or a loved one of an addict, you were in the same boat as them, and you never thought your loved one would be in the boat that they were in, or that they are in, or going through, or walking through, or wherever they might be. And so I wanted you guys to kind of hear what she went through doing all this, just to get that kind of perspective. This was very last minute for her. I texted her, I think Friday. I said, hey, I need you on stage with me to do a Q&A. And of course, she's not going to say no because I'm her son. She loves me. I'm her favorite. I'm one of two. I'm the oldest, and I am her favorite.
Depends on the day.
Yeah. So let's jump right in. So early stages of my addiction, early stages of that. What were some of the flags that popped up that you noticed being a loved one, that I was potentially either going down the wrong path or getting on drugs, or you knew something wasn't right about what I was doing in my life?
Honestly, I didn't know for the longest. I think you and your dad both told me I was very naive, and I think that's probably accurate. Your dad kept coming to me and telling me, I think something's going on with him. I think he's doing something. And I kept saying, no, he's not doing anything. I mean, he might be drinking some, but he's not doing anything bad. He's fine. And then it was, you always had excuses for why we found certain things.
We're really good at that, by the way.
Really good. But let me say this too, it's also really easy to fool people who want to believe in you. Mm-hmm. So that's super easy to do. But it took me a while to, when your personality started changing, when you started being disrespectful to me and not as loving, that's when I noticed that something was really going on, I think.
You guys, if you've heard my story, you've been around, I'm a big family guy. We love my family. We do anything for them. Just very respectful. Always have been. I flip-flop back and forth from being a mama's boy to being a dad's boy to being a mama's boy the most of my life.
He just lost his way for a little while, but he's good now.
But it's true. I took advantage. So as an addict on this side, I took advantage of the respect and the loyalty and everything like that I had with my parents. My dad kind of grew up with addiction in his family, and so he knew more about it than my mom. But I pulled on my mom's strings way more because it was easier, right? And that's, as an addict, that's kind of what you do. You pull on easy strings, whether it's with your parents or your grandparents or your siblings or something like that. It's kind of what you're gonna do. And then a lot of people will do this, and I don't think my mom was one of them, but a lot of people blame other people for their loved one being on drugs. And that's not really the case for you, is
I
it?
never blamed anybody else. And in fact, this is going to sound kind of strange probably, but I didn't even blame you for that. Because I felt like a lot of people are, that one time are going to take that pill or going to take that drink or do whatever because everybody does it, right? And you don't know that that's going to be the beginning to a downhill spiral. And so I didn't even blame you for that. I'm not saying I wasn't mad at you several times, but I didn't blame you. And I certainly didn't blame anybody else. I mean, that was your choice.
Right. And so I was talking to my wife, going through these questions and things like that. She asked me, she goes, did your circle of friends change? And honestly, mine didn't. I kept the same buddies from the time I graduated until after. So my circle didn't change, but it was an outside circle of one of my buddies, my very dearest friends. His circle changed a little bit. And so he started doing drugs, and I followed. I made the choice to follow my friend down this path, thinking that it was going to be a weekend thing or a one-time thing, or we camped a lot back then, a camping thing, and so I didn't think much of it. But I'm with my mom. I didn't blame anybody for my drug addiction, but me. I was the cause of me going down this road. I made the choice to do the drug, right? My friend didn't say, hey, if you don't do this, I'm going to kill you, or if you don't do this, I'm going to force it on you, or something like that. So I made the choice to do this. And so with that, when you make that choice, it has these ripple effects, right? Anything that you do, any choice that you make will cause something to happen. It's how life works. And so with me choosing to do drugs, how do you think it affected you? Or did it affect you, me being on drugs? I'm sure it did.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It probably aged me 10 years. I looked good for that. So, really, it your dad and I would talk all the time. He thought I was going to have a nervous breakdown, and I thought he was going to have a heart attack. Really, it was like, it was devastating. And the thing is, like, growing up, you never lied to me about anything. That's one of the reasons I believed everything you told me. Oh, we found this paraphernalia. Oh, I'm keeping that for a friend. Okay, well, you don't need to do that anymore. Okay, Mom. And so, that I believe that. So that was one of the reasons. But I became a different person during that time, just like you did. I would cry to your dad and ask him if we could cancel holidays and, different things like that. I would one minute be praying and just begging God to take my life, if he would make you whole again. So yeah, it had a major effect. I didn't want to live if you weren't going to live and be whole. It's just, that's how it is as a parent.
There was times where we about had to cancel holidays because I spent all the money on drugs.
We did cancel presents.
Legit. I took every penny. I share a similar name to my dad, and I took advantage of that. I would go to different banks, and if one didn't do it for me, I knew another one would. And so I would travel, and unless they asked, hey, what was your date of birth? To them, I was the person that I said I was. And in a sense, I was, and in a sense, I wasn't. And so I definitely took advantage of that. And we opened socks for Christmas because I had taken that much money.
Well, and in that situation too, it didn't just affect not getting presents for Cory or Cory getting presents for us. It affected his brother, and it affected his grandparents, and it affected his uncle. It affected, like when he was talking about this ripple effect, when you have people who love you, it's not just you that's being affected by what you're doing. It's everybody who loves you. Everybody. And probably it's a little bit deeper for some of us.
So during this time, you had Dad, obviously, but what what other support, or did you have any other support system in your life? People to talk to, things to cling on to, anything like that you had?
I had prayer.
Yeah.
I had the Bible. That was it, because nobody really understood. And like I said before, there were so many times that, or so long, that I didn't even think that you were doing anything. So like I didn't even know that I needed to talk to somebody, you know. But I remember like there's a verse, and I'm horribly paraphrasing this, but it's like, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, the saving of many lives. That was what I prayed over and over again. Like, that drug intended to harm him and our family, but God's going to use it for good, and He has. So,
Yeah.
So,
Stop!
dealing with this, like when you
Because of Kinsey.
were able to, once you kind of found out that I was doing drugs, and everything kind of lined up and clicked, did you gain a support system then? Like, how was conversations? Like, if people ask you, hey, how are your kids? People that knew you, were those conversations hard?
I didn't talk to anybody about it.
Yeah.
I did not until you went to rehab did I really talk to anybody about it. I felt like it was, honestly, I didn't know who to talk to and how to get help for it. And you know, even before you went to rehab, when I really realized you were doing something, and I don't know if you probably, I don't know if you remember this or not, but it was on Father's Day, and I went downstairs to get you out of your room to tell you that it was time for dinner. And you were just getting ready to shoot up. Do you remember that? How many of you all have seen like the commercials where the parents see their son or daughter going off to the military, and they see them as the 4-year-old or 5-year-old? That's what I saw. I saw my little 4-year-old boy, who I absolutely adored and who is my absolute soul, getting ready to shoot up. And I didn't know whether to hug him so tight until he was healthy and whole again, or shake the dumb out of him. You know, like I did, like it was one of those things. And I think I did both, probably that day. But that's not until then did I really realize anything was going on. And then it was that following January is when you went to rehab.
So, well, before I went to rehab, I've only been to rehab once. That's all it took. It stuck. Like I was ready to get help. Right? I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Until you really get to that point, I don't care how many rehabs you go to, like it's not going to help. Until you're ready to make that choice and make that decision to change, like it's not going to help, right? You could go to the best rehabs in the world, pay millions of dollars, but if you're not ready to change, like it's not going to click, right? And so I got clean once before for about 6 months. Do you remember this?
I do.
And so I had got clean for about 6 months. I was working out. I was talking to a counselor. I was reading books. But there was one key thing missing during this time. I was not connected into a group. I didn't have, the only support I really had was my parents. And at the time, it wasn't enough for me. Because, and they didn't know what to do, but their support was keeping me locked in my room. Or keeping me locked in the house.
Thinking that we were keeping you locked.
Right.
Yeah. You think, well, I mean, if you go through this, like, we had no clue what to do. We've never been through anything like that before. So honestly, we didn't know. And am I children, you're talking about when you went to rehab? Okay. So we actually went to our doctor, our family doctor, for our checkup. And we were just talking to him about Cory. And just kind of, we poured our hearts out to him. And he hooked us up with a lady and said, I'm going to have her call you. I think we can get something worked out for him. And that's how we came to even hear about the rehab center. And then that was hard. That was just, I sent my baby, he wasn't a baby, but sent him off to a place hoping that something would stick, but you don't know.
Yeah, I was 25, and I turned 26 when I was in rehab, so I wasn't a baby.
He was my baby.
I honestly, even after that, when I came back and I stayed with my best friend for a couple years after rehab, after that season of our lives were done, I even went back in with mom and dad. I wasn't ready to be by myself. This was probably almost 3 years into recovery at this time, and I knew I wasn't ready to be by myself. I knew I needed to be around loved ones that were going to support me and things like that. And so when I got out of rehab, I came here. It was February 10th of 2014, and mom and dad both came in here with me. They stayed with me for about 6 months when they realized that it was going to stick. Like I walked in the doors and told them, "Hey, this is home. Like I'm at peace." And I had been to a couple others before coming here to Faith Promise. And I'm not saying we're the best. We may not be the best fit for you. So if you come here tonight, don't get discouraged. Okay, let me encourage you to explore others. And if you need other locations, come find me.
Yep.
Because I have a list of Celebrate recoveries around Knox County. Meet on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. So don't miss out. So if you come here and you're like, it's not the right fit, that's fine. Let me help you out. Let me send you to somebody else that I know. Okay? Don't leave here tonight discouraged because you're like, I didn't get anything out of the night. You may not. Tonight may not be your night. Tonight may not be the night that you get something out of this. But someone else has. And if you keep coming back, you're going to get something. This is just home for me.
Yep.
And they know this. I've been here over 6 years now. And I love every moment of being here. So I mean, it's super important. You gotta have community. And they've heard me countless times throughout all this that you gotta have community. You gotta be able to release yourself or release your loved one to God. Like you just have to, right? Like if she had held on, I don't necessarily think that we would be up here
That's right.
tonight talking to you. At what point do you think you kind of just, I don't want to say give up, but like release me to God? Like you knew, like you have done everything in your power to get me to where you thought I needed to be. Like at what point did you just hear God?
I think I knew that everything was going to be okay when you were in rehab, and it was the first time we talked on the phone. It'd been like 2 weeks you were in there, and you called and we talked for a little bit, and I said, I'm going to send you a care package. What all do you want? Like,
It was my birthday, and I wanted cookies.
It was the first time I had not been with him on his birthday, and so he told us the things he wanted, and he said, hey, Mom, will you send me my Bible? And that's when I knew that you were going to be okay. But I didn't release you then. Because even then, like you said, we came for a good 6 months. I wanted to make sure you were coming here, and I wanted to make sure that, you were getting fed. So it took me a little while longer before I did that. And I really think, okay, first of all, when you talked to Bobby that first time that we were here, and y'all talked for like, an hour or so?
Bobby's been here for a very long time, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, just because of that, he's like a family.
Yeah.
But I think it was when you moved in with Nick and Ashley, and you were there for a while, and Nick sent me a text, and I don't know if you know this, but he sent me a text, and he goes, hey, call me. And I'm like, oh. So I hadn't released you then, because I was still like, and he said that your dad had sent him a message and asked him kind of how you were doing and that kind of stuff, and Nick was like telling me, he said, I don't feel comfortable being the middleman. And I said, don't be. You know, Cory's going to do what Cory wants to do. You just need to be his friend. And I think at that point, God told me that I was right. It doesn't sound right. But you know what I mean? Like he was telling me that you were going to be fine. That I had to let it go. And I had to trust him. Not you so much, but I had to trust him that he was working in your life and it was going to be okay. I think that's good.
So as we wrap up, it goes by so quick, don't it? So fast.
Yeah. I was just not getting moved up.
So as we wrap up, you know, what are 1 to 2 nuggets would you give to someone who is in like your position, like a loved one of an addict?
First of all, I would say you can't beat yourself up, and I did. I wrote like in my diary the longest, and wrote to you a lot, and I was apologizing to you for not being the mom I needed to be. And I, you know, looking back at that, realized that that's not necessarily true. You know, like if you had told me that this was going to happen, I would have thought, you're crazy. We were the parents that went to all the games, coached them in everything they did, went to every field trip, you know, room mom, all the things that you're supposed to do to be connected to your kid. We had a great relationship growing up, right? At one time we had like 12 boys came over to the house for his birthday, shooting water guns in the house. Like, we were the cool parents, you know? So I never thought that would happen. So I feel like we did okay as parents. So I would say, number one, don't blame yourself for it. It can happen to anybody in any family, no matter how much you love them and no matter how much you try. It can just happen. So that's one. And then two, I would say, there's not a thing you can do if they get on it. There's not a thing you can do, really. You can pray, you know, you can shake the dumb out of them, but you can't shake enough of it out. And you can, you know, send them to rehab. You can do all these things, but there's been people who've gone to rehab several times and it hasn't worked. It comes to the point where they have got to get to the point where they're listening to God. That's what it comes down to. You said two, that was two.
Oh, you got another one?
No, I mean, I can come up with one.
Thank you so much. You guys, give it up for my mom.
Yeah!